The greater world shall burst into bloom as plum blossoms at winter's end. I, Ushitora no Konjin, have come to reign at last. I have returned to the throne, and I will protect the world. The scriptures of Oomoto are called Ofude Saki, which means from the tip of the writing brush. 100 years ago, an illiterate middle-aged woman began writing the words of the Divine Spirit. She wrote approximately 200,000 pages in 27 years. These messages admonish the selfishness of humankind, warn of the ruin of the world, and urge people to reclaim their way of life. Now Deguchi, the foundress of Oomoto, she received the messages from the divine. On the night of February the 3rd, 1892, suddenly the divine spirit who called himself Ushitora no Konjin possessed Nao Deguchi. Nao was usually quiet and modest. However, with tremendous pressure from the pit of her stomach, this male voice would come forth in a solemn tone. The Divine Spirit announced that he was the creator of the universe, but had retired from the throne in antiquity and protected the world secretly. By this divine possession, Oomoto was founded in Ayabe. Oomoto has two founders, foundress Nao Deguchi and co-founder Onisaburo Deguchi. Onisaburo Deguchi was born to a poor tenant farm family in Kamioka. A precocious child, he became a substitute teacher in the village school at the age of 12. In 1898, at the age of 26, Onisaburo underwent austerities for a week in a cave on Mount Takakuma. There, he received the divine teachings and spiritual powers and became aware of his mission. In the same year, he read Nao's writings and found points in common with the teachings he received. He visited Nao in Ayabe. Onisaburo joined Oomoto and married Sumiko, Nao's daughter, who later became the second spiritual leader. He took the name Onisaburo, which came from Nao's writings. He predicted many of the occurrences that later took place in Japan and in the world. Onisaburo composed Oomoto's doctrine and set up its organizational structure. Onisaburo wrote an explanation of Nao's Ofude Saki and published it as Oomoto Shinyu, or Divine Revelations of Oomoto. He dictated the 81-volume Reikai Monogatari, or Tales from the Spirit World, which tell of his spiritual experiences on Mount Takakuma. He also wrote many other books. In 1919, he bought the grounds of the Kamiyama Castle ruins in Kamioka and opened a spiritual center, which was in addition to the one at Ayabe. Onisaburo adopted Esperanto, an international language, in 1923. He established the World Religious Federation in Beijing in 1925. He established Jinrui Aizenkai, Universal Love and Brotherhood Association, whose mission is to work for peace among all races, religions, and nationalities. In 1921 and 1935, the Japanese government persecuted Oomoto because of its doctrine of pacifism and internationalism and its growing social influence. During the second persecution, the Oomoto grounds were confiscated and old facilities destroyed. 3,000 followers were brought to trial and many were tortured to death. In 1946, the Supreme Court found Oomoto not guilty. However, Onisaburo gave up all rights to compensation from the government because it would have been a heavy burden for the recently defeated Japanese citizens. Cleared of the charges, Oomoto started afresh. It reconstructed the two spiritual centers and encouraged agricultural expansion to save people from the food crisis after the war. Even today, Oomoto continues to encourage agriculture. Onisaburo was also a noted artist whose many works included paintings, calligraphy, and thousands of colorful tea bowls called yoan, which means scintillating bowls. Art is the mother of religion. The art to which Onisaburo refers here is the artistic activity of the creator of the universe. All things in the universe, all nature, is the great art of God. Human beings, the artwork of God, adore the artist who is God. This is what we call religion. The second spiritual leader, Sumiko Deguchi. Beginning in childhood, she experienced a bitter life working as a domestic servant. After her marriage to Onisaburo, she worked behind the scenes to support the expansion of Oomoto. She was the only woman charged in the second Oomoto incident and spent 6 years and 4 months in jail. However, she did not show any sign of suffering, and her magnanimous and warm personality attracted many people. She emphasized social welfare service, such as nursery schools, and also the World Federation movement, which aims to create one world. The city of Ayabe proclaimed itself as the first World Federation peace city in Japan in 1950. This proclamation grew from Sumiko's zeal for world peace. The third spiritual leader of Oomoto, Naohi Deguchi. Since she acceded to the leadership in 1952, she endeavored to build up the tradition of conforming one's heart, words, and deeds. From her youth, she devoted herself to the study of traditional arts, including pottery, tea ceremony, and no drama. She practiced the unity of faith, artistic pursuit, and life, and encouraged followers to do the same. This is how valuing and practicing the arts became a tradition at Oomoto. Naoi loved natural landscapes and worked for the protection of nature. She also loved traditional Japanese culture and worked to preserve it. Konohana sakura, a rare variety of cherry tree in the Oomoto garden. Naoi Deguchi discovered a new species of cherry tree, which was named after her. Hidemaru Deguchi, alternate spiritual leader, the husband of Naoi Deguchi. Because he was Onisaburo's designated successor, he received the cruelest torture during the second Oomoto incident. Afterward, he broke off relations with his family and devoted himself entirely to communication with the spirit world and to supporting the spiritual life of Oomoto followers. In his youth, he kept notebooks of his thoughts, which were later published as a book, In Search of Meaning. A selection of his poetry was published in 2001 in commemoration of the 10th anniversary of his death. Kyoko Deguchi acceded to the position of the fourth spiritual leader of Oomoto in 1990. She loved wild plants and flowers and served as curator of the Oomoto Botanical Gardens. During her time, the Choseiden was constructed. This sanctuary in Ayabe has been a cherished goal of Oomoto members since the movement's founding. Kyoko Deguchi devoted her energy to the bioethical campaign. Oomoto opposed brain death organ transplantation, and she worked in the street campaign to collect signatures. Oomoto collected the signatures of more than 870,000 and submitted the demand to defend the dignity of life to the government. Kurenai Deguchi, a great-granddaughter of Onisaburo and Sumiko, acceded to the position of the fifth spiritual leader of Oomoto in April 2001. As spelled out in the Ofude Saki, the spiritual leader of Oomoto is always a woman. This year, Oomoto celebrates the 110th anniversary since its founding. Under the guidance of the fifth spiritual leader, Oomoto will step into its second century, following the foundress Nao Deguchi, who prayed wholeheartedly for humankind and peace in the world. May the world avert disasters.